Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure. So this was my 2-for-1 deal. They are a pair of Suzuki Quadrunnner. I believe they're 250s and they're both 4x4s. So that's what they are. This one is a 93 and I believe this one is a 2001. What happened is they weren't being used very much and mice got into the wiring and corrosion got into the wiring on this guy, the 93. You could actually see some melting and arcing and popping and sparking over here. So, right, some things got cooked. So that's what happened to this one. This one, you can see the wiring's chewed right off. It seems to be mostly be the headlights. So I guess I'm going to make the comment that's probably what these two things died of. And then they sat around and they got into carburetor issues. So what I'm doing now is I'm trying to figure out what I have and what I don't have. So I think I have everything for the front right here. So that's a good thing. It looks like I got the engine cover. Obviously I got the seat. Okay, with the seat removed, you could see I have a carburetor. It's a clone, right? Everything else more or less looks intact. So I think what I'll do is I'll just go through your standard. Do I have compression? I'll put a battery to it, see if it cranks, you know, that normal stuff. So that's the plan for the 93. Turns out this one is a 2001. And what makes it interesting is it only has 39 miles on it, right? That one has 2300, but this one only has 39 miles on it. It'd be really nice to see this one come back to life. Now, it has a winch on it, and I mention that because that complicates things under the hood here. Right, there's a lot of extra wires floating around because of that. And once again, our mousy friends got in here and did things. There was some overloading and some overheating. Right, looks like they chewed on wires here. And there we go. If you work on these things, cars and so forth, some of the manufacturers had a tendency to use wiring that mice kind of liked to chew on, and some did not. It seems that all my buddies with Suzukis have troubles with mice getting to them if they leave them outside. Now, I believe this would control the winch, and the wire kind of goes and disappears. I'm not seeing any switches or anything here, right? That's for the choke. So I'm not sure about the winch. I have to be honest with you guys, original paperwork, about winches. I never really get my all-terrain vehicles stuck. You know, maybe I'm not riding them enough. I think a winch would be more useful to pull your buddies out of the mud, right? But for me, I don't much see a reason to have one, and I'm really considering getting it out of there. Looks like the mice got in here too, chewed on that, chewed on this. So I really can't leave these out in the shed. These things really should live in one of the garages somewhere. As you also see on this one, it does not have a carburetor at all, right? It's outright missing. So for general inventory, looking at these as a project, I think I have everything. I see 6 knobs in there for high, low, and reverse, and you know, four-wheel drive lock. Here, we'll go through this in a second. I got air boxes, I got 2 manuals. So that's all good stuff. Now, let's inventory carburetors. This one has a carburetor on it. This is the 93. It looks like I have a clone carburetor, brandy spanking new in the box. And it looks like they included both OEM carburetors. One of them is a kit. By the way, this is bad. You should try to put this in a jar by itself or whatever to keep it from drying out and getting crinkly like that. That might not be any good. This thing relies on vacuum. It's a constant velocity. It moves that butterfly up and down, and getting them crinkled up like that is not good for them. And if you tear them, they don't work at all, right? They use, you can hear that, right? So everything has to be working nice and smooth. Yeah, I'm not sure this carburetor is still with us. I'm not sure which went to which. They're both 250, so I think they're more or less interchangeable. Now, how am I going to work on these? I think I'm going to start out with the 93. It's more complete. We'll do this one completely separately. And what I'm going to start out by doing is, first of all, is the engine locked up? No. Does it have compression? I'm going with yes. So that's a couple of things right off the list. I'm going to put a battery to it. I do have the key. And let's see if this thing turns over. And we'll give it a tiny little hoot of starting fluid, and we'll see if there's any spark to this thing. So we got the jump pack hooked up and turned on. We have a little green light there, which is nice. I guess it's just a matter of turning it on here. Well, we got a neutral light. That's a good sign. Oh, sounds like we got starter. Let me set up the camera. I'm just going to give it a little hoot of starting fluid and let's see what happens. That should work. By the way, I checked the oil and I think I realized something. These are Quadrunner 250 four-wheel drive. The 300s I think are known as the King Quad. So these must be 250s because it doesn't say King Quad over here. It says Quadrunner. So let's give this a little hoot. Just a hoot will do ya. And let's see if she starts up. Oh. Not only did it start, it sounded pretty good. I'm going to put my portable gas tank to this, and let's see if it'll actually run on that carburetor. Turns out there is gas in it. I don't know, give that a smell. Yeah, there isn't much. I guess less to drain and recycle. Anyhow, I think I'm going to separate it down here at the filter and use my little gas can. Luckily, it appears as if they did turn it off, so hopefully that carburetor isn't full of sludge and so forth. The plastic gas tanks, if you leave gas in them and you let it go to the carburetor, you end up with this brown epoxy-like coating in the carburetor, so hopefully it's not suffering from that. Okay, I put some gas to it, and this is the plastic gas line they had. It's some of that vinyl stuff. Can you see where it's melted. It was leaning against the exhaust system. Guys, be careful with that. Second thing, this vinyl gas line, it has a tendency to get hard with age. And then if you put any torque on it, it could crack. Obviously you could torture yourself, but even with that, you could be out in the woods several miles from home. If you crack the gas line and you lose your fuel, it could be a long walk to get more fuel. And if somebody happens to come by and know how to cut and splice a couple of wires, and they have an extra little bit of gas, when you get back to pick up your all-terrain vehicle, it may no longer be waiting for you. So anyway, turning this on, there's gas to it. I'm going to just give it a little hoot of starting fluid, and we'll see if we can't get this thing running. Right, that's always the game. I don't know if the choke is on or choke is off. I think off, but out of gas. So he indicated that he put this clone carburetor on here and he spent a lot of time tuning it and fussing around with it, and he couldn't make it go. One of the people who commented when I first told you guys I got these, one of the people who commented mentioned that the clone carburetors, that they've been through several of them and they were all for junk. And that leaves me with what are we going to do with this rig? Now, my lean is I just do not like Mikunis. I do not like Mikuni constant velocity carburetors. And obviously the clone ones are no better. So I'm just looking at this. If I put the Honda Equal on it, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to deal with the choke. I mean, one could put a cable choke on it. Obviously, there's a cable there. By Honda equivalent, the one I'm talking about is the one that goes on the 250X or the 300EX. So, you know, people bought these with Mikunis on them and they ran them and ran them and ran them. I gotta believe with one of these as new and the clones for spare parts, maybe I could bring that guy back to life. It's just over the years, not only don't I like these, but I've had friends who've had all-terrain vehicles, and the Mikuni carburetors are just a fight. They're always messing with them. If somebody knows something out there, maybe I'll look up a couple of videos, see if there's something better way to rebuild them, or something. Maybe there's a trick I don't know. Okay, I got a little gas drip there that I want to clean up. I think I'm going to wrap up this video here. I try to keep my videos at 10 or 15 minutes. So there we are. This one runs, and it hasn't run, as near as I could tell, I think in 10 years. So it's been in a garage. It's been kept. It's been kept nicely, but I don't think this thing is running 5 to 10 years, so at least 5 years. So it's a good thing when they start. Anyway, I really want to thank you guys for dropping by to watch, the comment and subscribe. Please remember to keep your feet down, your heads up. If anybody has advice, you know, advice never hurt, so I'll take it. Anyway, guys, go out and have some fun before the rain comes. Bye now.